off to the next job. So just finished up the Explorer fuel pump and alternator, and now we're off to a 2006 Volvo S40 timing belt, water pump, whole kit, all 9 yards. Customer says that it made a pop noise and no longer runs, so let's dig into that. I've already started. Of course, I'm ahead of myself because I forgot to get the phone out for the camera, but anyway. So screw here, it's a Torx 27. This cover slides off. Put that off to make it a little easier. And then here's the timing belt. It's very, very loose. It has no coolant in it at all, so that's real healthy for it. All right, we got the engine mount out. Throw it over to the side, got the cover off. Now we need to take this little bolt off. It is a Torx 30. I believe once we get that off, we can actually unclip all this stuff on the side right here. And it will should pull right out. So let's get to it and see what we can do. Alright, I've got it unhooked from the back to the front. Oh, there we go. That looks too bad. Alright, straight off the bat here, I can see metal shavings right there. I don't know what that's from, so we'll have to definitely dig in a little bit more. But the belt don't look broken, at least not what I can see. I don't see what's going on, but what I do see is how loose this belt is. Very loose. There should be almost no slack, and that's like very loose, easy to move slack. So something's not right in there. So let me figure out what in the world's going on, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have figured out what has happened. So this thing has jumped timing. See how loose that is? These teeth, hard to see, like cracking away. These teeth right here are not even in the grooves all the way, like pretty much all the way down here. And so it has just jumped timing. It didn't break the belt. So I've got to finish taking the stuff from the bottom end loose, and I got to take this tire off. Take the tire off, the inner fender shroud, and take the harmonic balancer off, and then I can start getting to all the other stuff that's down there. So, long story short, if your owner's manual says to change the timing belt at X amount of miles, then do it, because usually a timing belt job is all the pulleys, the belt, the tensioner, in this case the water pump as well. The water pump is right there, and it could have leaked and possibly messed up something. I don't think it did, but it's one of those things you don't want it to go out and then destroy everything you just did. That is the weep hole right there on top. That's usually how you tell if it's bad. It'll start leaking out of that before it destroys the bearing that the pulley rides on. So that way you'll at least know it's overheating before really bad stuff happens. But anyhow, let's get to it. Get up on the lift and get down to the bottom part. So I'm trying to walk y'all through each and every step here. It's actually all tight. It annoys me to have this thing zoomed in. But anyway, so the next bit is to loosen this, pull this belt off. I'm going to take this nut off right here to hold the harmonic balancer on. And as you can see, here's the belt. This is the tensioner pulley, and There's the water pump right there, the green gasket. So let's get that as the next step. This is a 50 Torx bit, T50, fits in there for the tensioner. And I don't know what size this is yet. I haven't gotten there. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. Alright, so this nut here is a 30 millimeter. Get it focus. Anyway, 30 millimeter. Fits it perfect. Let's get this thing zipped off of here. And sometimes these pop right off. But let's get in there. Try to use a slide hammer. Gently pull on it. Usually if it doesn't have holes of any sort to attach to pull it off the actual puller, sometimes they just slide right off. Let's try that first, because I actually have no idea on this. But I do see this right here has got a tapered hole, which sometimes that means it takes an actual puller. So I don't know. Give me a minute and I'll figure it out. Alright, so gotta pull it with an actual puller itself. So I got the 2-jaw out. Put it on there. You don't want to pull too hard. Oh, well, that's weird. Well, I was supposed to take these bolts off first, right here. But at least I learned the hard way, I reckon. Anyhow, let's pull these bolts right here off so I can actually get the other pulley off. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. Okay, so there's the harmonic balancer. Idiots over there making a lot of weird noises. And this is actually the gear here with a belt. So I was pulling the whole shebang out, and not what I was supposed to be doing. So anyhow, I need to loosen the tensioner so I can break the tension on this and get the rest of it off. So I got this thing off, the crank pulley for the belt, and the harmonic balancer actually goes onto this. Now I know. But anyhow, tensioner, I got the tensioner loosened and took the belt loose, flopping. Then I get lower the car back down and get the belt off the rest of it. Be right back. Alright, so my belt come in this morning. A Daco belt. I like Daco stuff, but and Gates. I had a Gates belt on the Volvo already, but let's get this thing put in there. That's a Gates belt, a T331. But let's get the timing and stuff set, and hopefully, like I told the customer yesterday, it's a 50-50 chance that the motor's good or motor's damaged. It's an interference 5-cylinder, but I don't have any way of checking it, testing the compression per cylinder, so he said he was fine putting a new belt on there, the belt only, so it saved a little bit of money. But yeah, we're gonna do this and I guess hope for the best. I mean, that's all I really can do. So let's get this thing on there, get the timing and stuff set, and see what happens. All right, so here's the new timing belt. I've got this one straight up, got this one straight up, and it doesn't make any sense honestly, but the timing marks are in this piece of rubber. That's the timing mark there, and this one actually broke off, it's bent, but also right there. That's the timing marks. I have to put this piece of plastic back on there in place. I'll put the screws in it so I hold it where it's supposed to be. And you got to line up that board with that notch. It makes no sense to me at all. That's just stupid. So, makes plenty of sense, Volvo. Plenty of damn sense. And then down here, this one's way better. Keep the lights out up here. This one is a lot better. That's kind of how it's supposed to be. I put a mark on it here. This nub right here lines up with that nub. As you can see, it's pretty much straight on now. So that is how thing should be. Metal to metal. Alright, well, I got it on there. I got to double check, make sure timing marks are still lined up. But they don't give you no room at all on these Volvos, that's for sure. It's not a hydraulic tensioner. The tensioner is right here, and so you adjust it by putting an Allen wrench in there, a number 6 up in there, and you set the tension yourself, and then you just tighten down that center nut or that center bolt, and that's what holds tension. But that's kind of a dumb design. I mean, it makes it easy. That's less kind of less parts that can go bad, I reckon, because once it's locked down, it's locked down. Hydraulic tensioner though would have been way better. It would have give you a lot more room to get the belt on. So there's not a lot of play or movement, I mean, in that kind of tensioner there. So it makes it a little bit aggravating. But I got it on. I'm gonna double check. That one is still lined up. That's the easy one that doesn't really move very easy. It's easy to get it on there and keep it on there. This one is pretty close, but the belt's still loose, so that might change. I have to tighten it up. It's not all far enough to try to readjust. And this one is also pretty close. You see it right there, and the mark on the timing gear pretty much dead on, best you can get, I reckon. So I think we'll be all right. I'll tighten it up and put the recommended adjustment, attention on it, and see what happens. But I think that's all fine. So get her tightened up, get the belt all the way in place where it needs to be, and we'll go from there. All right, let's see if this thing wants to do something. So as y'all can see, the Volvo did not crank. I told the guy it was a 50-50 chance that it's gonna work doing this, because I couldn't test to see if the valves were bent or not from jumping timing, but apparently they did. He knew that it was a gamble. We put it together, and it did not fix it. So, oh well. He wasn't really out any money. They've had the car for a long time. We got some money worked out of it. But the job cost $450. The local K-Fair pick and pull gave us $425 for the car. So pretty much wiped out most of his bill, which he was fine with. They had to have other problems with this thing as well over the last 2 or 3 years. They're nickel and diming a lot. So they're ready to get rid of it anyway. He's gonna buy his son another car, and that'll be it. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next time.